name's Terry Gray. I'm the Deputy Director for Environmental Protection with the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management. I've been working at DEM for 32 years now. So when Jim says that sometimes the wheels of government don't really turn that fast, I mean, he's absolutely right. There's a lot of energy and motivation that really is required to change policies. And with respect to policy on composting, that energy, leadership, and really motivation has made a big difference. With Greg's top 6, he kind of stole some of my thunder, like a lot of my thunder. But so I'll be short and sweet. But the real thing that is remarkable about composting and the dialogue that's going on right now with reusing food, diversion of food waste, organics management, and even now extending into alternatives for plastics, is this whole concept of champions and leadership. Really, this comes back, it starts with Greg. I mean, he was a force of nature to make this conference happen, and has been a force of nature to make this conference happen for the past 10 years. So he deserves a lot of credit for that, right? I remember when he first started, and he started to talk about statewide composting conference, and I was like, really? Are you kidding me? But it happened, and it was productive, and it has kind of changed the landscape a lot. You can see the work that Jim's done up here at Rhode Island College. That is an unbelievable testimony of leading by example. I would love to see other state organizations and other state institutions follow the lead that Rick has set and really kind of be the sustainability models that we all expect. A lot of the other institutions are not here. Rick is a small institution, but they've been focused and they've been dedicated to making this happen, and it's made a huge difference. And if we could point the other organizations within state government towards this and get them to follow that lead, it would make a big difference as well. So just to reiterate some of the things that Greg said that have changed over the past years. First of all, the regulations. Right? When we started out this dialogue, there was leaf and yard waste, composting, and then there was putrescible waste composting. There was commercial and there was agriculture. And those were the blocks that you had to fit in. And if you fit in sort of the commercial side of that matrix, if you will, there was some pretty big licensing hurdles, some obligations, some fees that went into this one-size-fits-all mentality that was in place at the time. We got a lot of pushback on that. And the idea was to come up with a tiered system that would allow the operation of small compost facilities that could take multiple waste streams all the way scaling up to the big ones that we had kind of had set up from the beginning. The other thing that came up was anaerobic digesters. When that discussion started, we had no idea how to permit those things. Right? They didn't fit in any kind of box that we had in our regulatory world in either air or waste. So we had to come up with a model for that, and we did. We went through the permitting for the Orbit facility, and there was another one, NEO, that really didn't come to fruition. But we're ready now. So if another facility came in, we do have a permitting system that's available that could respond to an application like that. The law changed, right? So anybody that generates over 102 tons per year needed to divert their organic waste to a composting facility if that composting facility is within 15 miles and it has capacity. We had hoped that law would really motivate economic investment and get some big composting facilities, some more anaerobic digesters sited in the state. That was kind of what happened in Massachusetts, but of course Massachusetts put a little bit more economic development money into it to make it happen. So we were kind of hoping that there would be a carryover effect between Mass and Connecticut and happen in Rhode Island. Unfortunately, that really hasn't been the case, but we're now looking a little bit more regionally in terms of capacity. And we're going to do some analysis to say, all right, if there is capacity within the region, maybe our generators, even though they're in Rhode Island, would, God forbid, have to cross a state line and maybe bring their material to another facility. So we're in the process of evaluating that and seeing how we can sort of motivate that as well. And I guess finally, the big change is the amount of interest and the amount of dialogue and the amount of professional focus that is going into this topic right now. You know, I have a lot of crazy environmental stuff that comes across my desk every day. And I would say probably every day or two, somebody is calling me to talk about food waste. It's either how do we keep the dialogue going to divert unused food to somebody that can use it before it becomes waste, or how do we ramp up the composting dialogue a little bit more to deal with the organic residuals that are taking up so much valuable space in our landfill. That dialogue about landfill capacity is going to get ramped up significantly over the next 2 years. And we're going to be looking at trying to move as many waste streams out of disposal as we possibly can. Organics are a really easy one, an obvious one. It's not easy, but it's obvious. You're going to hear dialogues on plastics, you're going to hear dialogues on construction and demolition debris as well. These take up lots of space, and that space is more and more valuable because there's really no options out there. So there's a lot more to come on this. There's been a lot of increased energy. That energy is going to continue to be required and needed because we're going to have a lot of motivating factors that are coming up in the next couple of years. So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll be back in the next couple of years for the next iteration of this Compost Conference. So once again, thank you.